Okay, let's dive in here. There's this detail. It's pretty stark, actually. Gordon Parks, as a young man facing, well, immense hardship, he apparently reached a point where he considered robbing someone at knife point.
Wow. Yeah, that's intense. Really shows the desperation, doesn't it?
It really does. But crucially, instead of going down that path, he made this other choice, a choice that completely changed his life.
He picked up a camera.
Exactly. He picked up a camera. And that's who we're focusing on today. Gordon Parks, photographer, writer, filmmaker. The sources you sent paint an incredible picture.
Yeah, they really do. And what's fascinating right from the start is seeing how those early struggles, those trials actually forged such a powerful vision.
Right.
The sources lay it all out, his difficult youth, how he started using photography, almost like a tool, for change.
Oh, a tool for change. I like that.
Yeah. And then his breakthroughs in media, the controversies, because his work was controversial, and ultimately the legacy he left.
Absolutely. And that's our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? To really try and understand that transformation. How does someone take those kinds of obstacles, personal and societal, and turn them into art that still resonates so much?
Yeah, figuring out the key ingredients, resilience, obviously, perspective, using your talents against injustice.
Precisely. And for you listening, you want a clear picture. You want to get it quickly but thoroughly. That's what we're aiming for, a really solid understanding of Parks' impact.
So starting at the beginning, the sources really paint a vivid scene. Born in Kansas, 1912, segregated Kansas, youngest of 15 kids.
15. Wow.
Yeah.
And poverty right from the start.
Right. It wasn't just, being poor. It was the whole system. The sources talk about this weight of darkness, that feeling of injustice being everywhere.
You really get that sense from the material. It wasn't just economic hardship. It was the constant pressure of segregation. Which brings us back to that moment you mentioned.
The knife point moment.
Yeah. It just highlights how incredibly low he must have felt. The depth of that despair.
It really makes you wonder what causes that pivot. From potential destruction, let's say, to creation. And the sources suggest that buying that camera, it was like $12.50 from a pawn shop. Yeah. It wasn't just random. It felt like a conscious step.
A deliberate choice.
Yeah.
Creation over destruction, as you said.
Exactly. A different way to sort of engage with the world around him.
And what an instrument it became. Not just taking pictures, but the sources say it actually changed how he saw things.
Yeah, it let him focus on and then show the things people tried to ignore, the invisible, the overlooked.
Challenging that whole narrative that Black people were somehow just not there or not important.
Each photo became this assertion, of presence, of dignity. Like, take American Gothic.
Oh, right. The one with Ella Watson.
Yeah. So everyone knew Grant Wood's painting, that iconic image of white, rural America.
Very famous.
Parks takes that idea, but he puts Ella Watson, a Black cleaning woman, right there with her mop and broom in front of the flag. Yeah. It's such a powerful commentary.
It really is. The sources talk about the labor, dignity, and silent suffering in that one shot. It flips the script on what American Gothic means.
And that photo was just, one step. His whole career was about breaking barriers, becoming the first African-American staff photographer and writer at Life magazine.
That was huge. I mean, Life magazine back then, its reach was incredible. The power of those photo essays.
Absolutely massive. So having Parks's perspective, his eye inside that publication for, 2 decades?
Yeah, the sources say 2 decades. And think about what he covered. Harlem gang leaders, civil rights marches, just ordinary people's struggles.
He wasn't just documenting, he was shaping the conversation, giving a face to injustice, making people confront things they might rather ignore.
Totally. His images weren't passive. They did something.
And then he branches out again into film.
The learning tree.
Right. Writes it, directs it, based on his own novel. And it's the first major studio film directed by a Black filmmaker. Think about that.
Groundbreaking. Opening doors.
Yeah.
Proving it could be done.
And then, not long after, he directs Shaft.
Shaft, which was, a cultural phenomenon, right?
Totally. Redefined Black masculinity on screen, brought this whole new cool to cinema. He wasn't just breaking barriers, he was reshaping the whole cultural landscape.
It's quite a trajectory. But, as the sources point out, doing that kind of work, it wasn't smooth sailing.
No, definitely not. Work that challenges the status quo like that, it's bound to stir things up. His honesty about racism, about poverty, it made people uncomfortable.
Yeah, the material mentions the criticism, people saying he was airing the nation's dirty laundry. You can sort of see how unsettling his directness must have been for some.
But he didn't back down. He had this clear idea mentioned in the sources about what the camera could do. It wasn't just for showing misery.
Right. He said it could show beauty, too. Things you love, things you hate. It could do both.
Exactly. He wanted to show the full picture of Black life. The pain, yes, but also the joy, the resilience, everything.
And in doing that, the sources really emphasize this. He gave Black Americans a mirror, a way to see their own beauty, their own worth, reflected back at them when society was constantly denying it.
That's such a powerful contribution, isn't it? Beyond just the art itself.
Absolutely. And the recognition came eventually. 50 honorary doctorates, the National Medal of Arts.
Yeah, the accolades were definitely there. But the sources rightly suggest his real impact is maybe harder to measure. It's in the lives changed, the minds opened.
Those civil rights photos still feel so immediate, so potent today. And his portraits, Ali, Malcolm X, they're iconic.
And the film's opening doors for so many Black artists in Hollywood, plus his books, his autobiographies, they offer this kind of guide almost for turning struggle into art.
He put it so directly himself, didn't he? That quote, "I chose my camera as a weapon."
Against all the things I dislike about America, poverty, racism, discrimination. Yeah, that really sums up his mission, I think.
It really does. So thinking about all this, about Park's life,
Yeah.
it kind of brings up a question, doesn't it, for anyone listening? What's your weapon? When you hit adversity, what's your response going to be? Do you let it define you, or do you, like Parks, try to rewrite the script somehow?
Yeah.
Find your own way?
It's a great question. Because his life really does highlight those core things. Resilience, definitely. The need for hope even when things look bleak. And that responsibility to just bear witness, to see and show what's happening.
Yeah.
His story is kind of a powerful reminder that maybe the tough stuff, the obstacles, maybe they aren't the end. Maybe they're the start of something important.
Yeah, like the raw material for your own masterpiece, as the sources sort of hint. So what's your camera? Your unique skill, your voice, your perspective. How do you use that?
The world needs those perspectives.
It does. So the final thought is really, will you answer that call?